Hi, this is Katrina Kaif.
Hi guys, this is Ranbir Kapoor. Download the Bollywood Times app right now.
There's a saying that goes, when two people spend too much time with each other, they start to look like each other. And my next guests, Katrina Kaif and Ranbir Kapoor, guys, I have something to show you. So I can back my statement. Can I come there?
Yes, of course.
Okay. In between, right in between you two.
I don't know if like me and Katrina start looking like each other.
Yeah,
it's a
but
compliment to Katrina or me.
Both.
I think it's about him and you. Okay, I have to cut in here and say that looks nothing like me.
Of course it does.
It looks nothing like
That
me.
looks like me, that looks like you.
No, it looks nothing like me. I'm sorry.
Well, it's a caricature, but
It's a
fun.
cute idea.
It
I
is.
love it.
It is.
Full marks to you for doing it.
It is. And wait, hang on.
It means a lot to me, but
I've
it
got a
doesn't
bigger
look like
version
me.
of it. I've got a bigger version of it.
Thank you. Can we open it?
Yeah, please.
Oh,
I know it's her,
You're
but
taking her.
this is not bad. I mean, a little happier version. He's a little unhappy here, but yeah.
thank you, Devansh. That was really
You're
sweet.
welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Okay, I want to ask you guys, what's the bravest moment as an actor you both have had an experience of?
I think just to set out on a journey with Anurag Basu on a film like this, which is quite like breaking genres, breaking the barrier of commercial cinema, trying to create a new form of commercial cinema, something which appeals to a universal audience, a musical adventure film. I think back then it didn't feel like it, but today when I'm meeting people and I'm hearing all of this, it seems kind of brave, to go on this journey.
What about you? Your bravest moment as an actor?
I agree. I think the decision to commit and to stick with this film for the entire process and never lose hope and never lose focus.
Okay. How much of, subconsciously, how much of Raj Kapoor Saab as a producer has rubbed off on you?
Nothing. To be honest, my job as a producer on this film was only to get the film together, get the people involved, and that was it. Me and Dada were discussing on ideas, what film we should do, and we zeroed on this idea, a detective film, and he came up with the musical aspect, the adventure and stuff like that. But it's not a skill set that I have. I don't think I'm cut out to be a producer. I would love to direct, and I would love to imbibe a lot of Raj Kapoor's traits as a director. But as a producer, I don't think it's cut out for me. It's not something I would like to attempt again.
Is he speaking the truth? He can't be a good producer?
I don't know. If he's speaking for himself, I'm sure it's the truth.
So how much of a production maverick is RK?
No, he's not, but that's also not his job,
Forte?
I guess, right? Yeah. It's he's an actor, and especially on this film, Dada's very hands-on with everything. He was in complete control of everything: the production, the scheduling, the execution, everything.
Katrina, you've seen musicals, Broadways, in the West. I'm sure you guys have, right? Mm-hmm. When I saw the first look, the trailer, and it was promoted as an adventure flick, the first thing that came to my mind was, Mamma Mia, Billy Elliot, all these Sound of Music, the Broadway musical that I've seen in UK. Mm-hmm. Can Jagga be in the future if there will be, a musical made on a film? Why not?
I hope so. I think that would be amazing if we saw Jagga Jasoos one day on a Broadway or a theatre production anywhere in the world.
No, absolutely. I mean, to be honest, when we started this one, we had many ideas, to do a Broadway play.
Oh, you had?
To do a Broadway style play for the marketing of the film. Right. We wanted to do a TV show of junior Jagga when Jagga was young. So we have many ideas of prequels and sequels, but it all depends, Devansh, on Friday when the film releases. If this genre is accepted, if this musical aspect of the film is accepted, this character, this world, then it lends itself to doing a lot of things around this genre.
Interesting. So tell me, what was the most intriguing aspect of working with Anurag Basu?
I think the surprise element is really high. You can't expect anything. There's nothing cliche.
So he surprises you in the script as well?
Yeah, every time you're on set, even though it could be a very ordinary scene of Shruti and Jagga sitting in the taxi, asking the taxi driver to go and take them to a certain hotel, but the way he thinks about it and the way he constructs the scene and how he shoots it and the kind of musicality he gives to the scene is so new that it's really intriguing, it's unique. It's a God-gifted talent, which I'm really jealous, that I don't think I can ever match up to the brilliance of him. So just to be on his film, just to be on his set, is good enough just to be on the journey of his brilliance. But he's really unique, man.
He's a visionary, I'm sure.
He's very artistic. I think he's super passionate about cinema. He seems almost like he lives for cinema in a way. His entire existence is kind of geared towards it. He knows so much about what's going on in cinema all over the world, not just here. And I think he really sets the bar really high for himself, you know, what he wants to create and what he wants to put out there.
You know, see, you have to understand also, he's someone who's coming from doing 10,000 plus episodes on TV. You know, he's got an unbelievable amount of experience of shooting things, working with actors, telling stories. So he's really mastered the art of storytelling. And still at the same time, he has not become skilled to a level that he's a prototype of what he's done before. He's constantly also challenging himself, you know, and that's really admirable because he's not making the easy films where he could easily have made those easy films.
I was just going to get to that point because when you worked with Rajneeti, which is the most complex screenplay ever written, right? Even Barfi, for that matter of fact. And in your career that has spanned so many years, guys, there are hardly few films that you get a rare piece of cinema which is not just complex but it's entertaining, it's giving a message, and yet it's something which is rarely made in India. You think we need more torch bearers like them? Like Anurag, like...
Absolutely, but you know, you can't plan this because there's no formula for it. You know, it just organically comes. It comes from a very true place. You know, like for an example of Bahubali, you know, now if we make a film like Bahubali, it'll be herd mentality.
Yeah.
But the fact is that Rajamouli, he thought of this idea, he believed it, he had conviction, he had the plots, you know, he had a story, he made it for an audience, for a large audience, and it was accepted. But it was accepted because it came from a very original place. It wasn't an offshoot of something, it wasn't inspired by some Hollywood film and all of that. It seemed original, it seemed entertaining, it seemed big, it seemed larger than life, and it touched so many people. I mean, look what it's done, you know. So, like I said, you can't plan this, there's no formula for it.
Katrina, you think living with a film for so many years and then executing it makes it more ripe, more mature, and probably even more visionary in the whole aspect?
In the case of Jagga, I don't think Dada lived with it for many years and then executed it. I think he had the idea, the concept, and then he kind of went on the floors with that concept and made it as the process went along. I mean, that was his process on this film, and I think he knew that. Like he said, I think in the press conference that we did, Dada said that most people may have spent the year and a half getting the music together, putting the whole screenplay together, you know, because the story is woven through the songs, doing all that work and then going on the floors. What Dada did is he went on the floors with it and did that work simultaneously.
Interesting. Well, this is a Johnny Bravo look, bro. You had it very Tintin meets Ace Ventura.
Yeah, you know,
whose idea was that?
When we were designing the character, Dada wanted the character of Jagga to be very unique in a way that it doesn't seem heroic. You know, there is a sense of little comedic look attached to him. That, you know, even if you do a caricature of him, you know, there is a particular thing where you just put the hair and the glasses, people will relate to, okay, this is Jagga Jasoos. You know, because we wanted to make a character of a detective because we were thinking of comic books and cartoons and stuff like that, you know, so it came out of that idea. Let's give him something which is out of the ordinary. So Tintin was never a reference, you know, Tintin has it in the middle, we have it on the side. This was, I think, one thing I had done with Alim Bhai on a GQ shoot, and while me, Alim Bhai and Dada were like at my place working out a look, he just did this, you know, with like some hair product, and Dada really liked it. He's like, that's great. So it also it's very poignant to the story because the father gives him this hairstyle before he disappears when Jagga's a kid. So he always maintains this hairstyle that if he ever comes across his father at any point in his life, his father would recognize him with the hairstyle.
Interesting. You know, we journalists, we love minions. Ask Katrina Kaif. I'm actually dressed like one.
Semi-minion.
It's semi-minion, yeah. What are the traits? Because, you know, you faced so many journalists in your career before. Was it easy to play a character like a journalist? Or is it just comes from you and you just execute it?
But it's also a little bit incidental in terms of, yes, they are on a journey and they are searching for something. So in that sense, it's integral to the story. But it's not like a character study of a journalist. It's not a character study of the complexities and the struggles and the emotional journey of this journalist. It's the emotional story of the film is a boy in search of his father. Then these two kind of quirky, slightly odd people who come together and go on this journey together. So it was a little bit incidental in terms of what I do in this film. It's not like I had to imbibe or get a certain manner right.
Just have fun with it.
Yeah,
have fun with the character. What's the biggest turn-off when you read a screenplay, Katrina?
When I hear a script, a narration, I think is if I can't tell who they're trying to speak to, you know, like what are you trying to do with this? Like, have you just written this because you needed to write a film? That's always really less than inspiring.
Okay. What about you?
Oh, that's a very interesting question, yeah, but I haven't really thought of it. I think, see, the thing is in a screenplay, if you disagree with something, or what was the exact word you used?
The turn
off. See, once you're turned off by a project, it doesn't matter. You can't pinpoint on one thing which is, you know, once you're turned off, then you don't connect with the story, you don't connect with the character, and then you're switched off. And that's often happened, you know, in a narration, or if I'm reading a script, if I've reached the 20th page where suddenly the film is not going anywhere. You know, the character's not doing anything, it's meandering. And I've done a lot of films which are meandering and, you know, are bad. But I didn't think so while I was reading the screenplay.
Do you guys use music to prepare for any character you've played before?
I mean, I do it for scenes, like if I'm doing an emotional scene, or, you know, if there is a comedic action scene, so the rhythm it gives you is really nice. But for emotional scenes, it really helps me. I have a playlist which I use, and I usually ask the director to play it while I'm performing those scenes. And I've been doing that for a couple of years now. I actually learned it from Mr. Bansali, because Mr. Bansali shoots everything to music. Everything is with temp music, and, you know, because he's a very musical, rhythmic director. And Basu is also that, you know, fun Sali. He does it in a fun way.
Okay. Yeah. You've listened to music to prepare for any character?
Sometimes. I don't have a particular playlist, so it's not like a routine I do, but yeah, it does help.
Pick one film of Raj Kapoor Sahib as a directorial you both would like to be featured in.
I don't think Katrina has seen many of his films, right?
Sure.
No.
Okay.
But for me, it's always Shri 420 and Jagga Jasoos. Those two are my top favorite. I also like the first 1.5 hours of Mera Naam Joker, particularly not the last 45 minutes, but the first half was really good. The whole Russian circus part and growing up in the school part.
What if there was a time capsule given to both of you and you had to put one great performance in it?
I would say Rajesh Khanna from Anand.
And you?
I'll get back to you. Maybe at the end. I'll think of something.
Okay.
Ranbir from Rockstar.
Yeah, that can be.
I'll think of something.
That can be. In your next film, if you had to prepare for a role, which would be that one trait that you would want from Ranbir Kapoor to be used in your character?
Focus.
Wow.
And me?
And vice versa?
I think her ability to stay true to the story and really bring story to the forefront, your performance and character secondary. I think a lot of actors and a lot of superstars, it's very hard for them to do it, you know, because it's always them before the story. But Katrina has an amazing ability to really aid the story, you know, to be a part of the story. And I think that's a very admirable quality.
So on that note, I'm going to throw another surprise to you.
Okay.
You ready?
Man, the show's great. You get so many gifts.
But that's it. The budget's over.
Anatomy of an actor.
So actually, this book, guys, is a comprehensive study on the craft of 10 of their most iconic roles and what went into making them iconic.
Really? Wow, this is amazing, man. Thank you, Devansh. That's very kind of you, yeah.
But Meryl, you can't just stop flipping the pages, can you?
You can't. It's shocking that they've only put so many pages, you know?
Yeah, 10 is quite a less number.
Katrina,
you want to pick?
Interview time. Little later, maybe.
You want to pick a film of Meryl?
Sophie's Choice.
Sophie's Choice, yeah.
Devil Wears Prada. Oh, you like that film, no? That Africa thing.
Yeah, Out of Africa.
Out of Africa. Interesting. Okay. West has, guys, animation, superhero films that cater to a lot of kids, right? I don't think in the last 10 years, our Indian cinema has made even 5 films that were completely catering to the kids. Assuming majority of
I think Krish was probably the last film.
So Jagga, yes, being, you know, part of the section of the audience, jumping and, you know, going to the theatres.
But, you know, there is no formula that this is for kids, you know. Even today's kids, you know, they're so well versed with the world, you know, the exposure and, you know, internet and surfing and cartoons on TV and stuff. So the quality has really risen, you know, what they like, what they engage with. So yes, this film has been made with the intention of, you know, that kids would enjoy it, but we don't know. You know, it's hard to tell, because it's very hard to tell what will excite them. It's easier to excite youth. It's easier to excite an older audience with particular stories, but to excite children, you know, from the ages of 4 to 15, you know, it's hard, and it's a tall order also.
What's your viewpoint?
I think the attempt is that it's a universal film. I don't think it's for kids or for adults. It's like one of those Jungle Book, Beauty and the Beast kind of that cut across everything.
Right.
That's definitely the attempt in terms of what I think the vision and the intent that it's made for. You only know your success.
Where do you see our Hindi film industry in the next 10 years, guys?
Wow, I think...
Or where are we heading, if that's the right question? Where
Well,
are
I
we
think
heading?
just because it's topical, I think Bahubali has really changed the game for everything. You know, it's really pushed the boundaries of box office collection, storytelling, the leap of faith it took. It's unbelievable. And I think content is something which will always be king. You know, I think the next big film would not be a superstar-driven film. It will be a content-driven film. Of course, if a superstar is in a content-driven film, that's when it will get most of the eyeballs. So I think we all have come to that realization, and that's always been the case. Sometimes we just forget it. You know, it just becomes you're chasing numbers, you're putting formulaic item songs and, you know, remixes and, you know, marketing in a certain format and just going by herd mentality.
So you think originality is missing?
Originality, yes. You know, like a film like Bahubali comes and does 50 crores in the Hindi language first day opening business, you know, without promotions, without like, you know, dancing songs, you know, I mean, we have something to learn from that.
Absolutely. What about you? Where do you see our industry heading?
No, I agree with that. I mean, nobody can know the future and no one has any real clue of where things go. But I do agree with the fact that, I mean, even just in theory, as a basic, you know, principle, it's the only theory which is kind of correct or even has any credibility to it is content. You know, what kind of stories that we're trying to make and yeah.
What do you think?
Concentrate on that.
It's interesting to know what you think.
Are you asking me the question about the balls in my court? Yeah, I think the lack of originality, but I think we're heading into a space where, of course, digital's converged into mainstream celluloid now, you know, the big screen. So I think there'll be a lot of changes as far as content is concerned. So a lot of actors or probably a lot of production houses will be venturing into digital mediums and it's going to be crossed. Which is good because the consumer audience is changing.
Devansh, the platform doesn't matter if it's digital, television or film. You know, Kevin Spacey said that. The platform doesn't matter, the content matters. You know, if you give me good content, when you offer it to me on film, Netflix or television, I will do it. You know, and I think, I don't know what the digital reach or the web reach in India is. I don't know if we've been able to tap it how probably the West has done it or other parts of the world. But it'll be interesting because there are a lot of people now consuming things on their phone at home. I'll always be on the fence where this is concerned because I think it'll only take away our movie-going audience, cinema-going audience, and you feel sad because, you know, I mean, I've grown up with cinema and I've grown up with theaters, you know, so that's a sad part. But then, you know, whatever is the order of the day, if you're consuming on the web or television, it doesn't matter as long as you're consuming good content.
Okay, we're gonna play a game now. Of course, you guys both have played this.
Never have.
Yeah. Never have I ever seen a movie twice to understand it.
So now if we have...
Inception, right? Interstellar.
I have, but I still didn't understand it.
Oh, which one?
Inception.
Oh,
Interstellar and Inception. I mean, it was the order of the day to say that, oh, it's a great film, but 90% of people didn't really understand the entire film.
Never have I ever been mistaken for another actor or an actress.
What's that?
Don't tell me Sanjay Dutt.
I mean, early on, people used to call me Imran Khan, then Ranbir Singh. There are many. I've been also called Shahid Kapoor.
Okay.
Sometimes people call me Rishi Kapoor also.
Okay.
You know, they call my father Shashi Kapoor. So yeah, I have.
Oh, never. Great. That's good. Never have I ever fallen asleep in a cinema hall.
Oh, I have.
You both have.
Can't tell you which one though.
No. I don't think we should spill the beans. Never have I ever had a crush on my school or college teacher.
Of course.
Anyone else? Never. Okay. You can name the professor?
Mrs. John. Professor?
No. Okay, that was a no.
Mrs. John. She was the English teacher in my, I think, first or second grade, and she was the one, because it was, I mean, a school in Mumbai, all teachers used to wear sari. She was Catholic, so she used to come in a skirt. So I think it's more the clothing and the first view of seeing somebody's legs while sitting on a desk. I think that was the appealing part.
That was so influenced by Rishi Kapoor's
maybe
Simi Garewal scene. Yeah, the famous epic. Never have I ever forgotten my own birthday. Never. God. Okay. So Neetu ji told me you forgot her birthday while Rockstar.
I'm very bad at remembering other people's birthday unless like it's driven to me, and sometimes also you're so taken up by your work. I mean anybody else, even like mother told you should never. But I was 3 hours late.
Okay. No, I don't want to ask the last one. It's pretty. You think I should ask the last one?
I don't know.
What it is?
She's intimidating, so I don't know what you think.
Dude.
Think about her. Maybe you should just pose it to me and make it for Katrina. It's optional if she wants to answer or not.
Okay, this will be fun then. Never have I ever farted in a swimming pool.
That's because I really like swimming, and it's before even today when I go into a swimming pool, I think are kids doing that in the pool? Are they doing that? And it's just. Swimming is important.
Yeah, but Katrina, the joy of being a kid and just letting go and peeing in a swimming pool.
No.
Something else.
No, you gotta.
One last question before we end this. With so many years, of course, she's done more body of work than you have, Ranbir. But how do you maintain the sanity in the industry that is so insane, churning so many movies and, sometimes the original content's not given to you guys? And how do you maintain the sustenance of, having that method into the madness while you're approaching a character?
Well, I think firstly, it's the people you surround yourself with. You should not have yes men around you. You should have a reality check of yourself, where you stand. And I think after 10 years, what I've really realized about this industry is it's about survival. More than success and failure. It's survival. When I see actors like the three Khans, Akshay Kumar, Ajay Devgan, and many other actors who've survived, I have more respect for them now because now I've completed 10 years. So I understand the hard work, Katrina, she has constantly been... She's been a constant superstar from a second or third film, from a second or third year itself. And that's really it's commendable. Survival is something which is very important.
This enigma to you, man. Trust me. Yeah, tell me more about the sanity. The last question, last answer.
I'm not entirely sure that any of us have maintained our sanity. I think that it's questionable. I think if everyone was to stand up in a line and we were all to be analysed, I'm not 100% sure if everyone would be qualified as safe.
Speak for yourself.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, we have to end this interview. The very intimidating and the charismatic Miss Kaif. Thank you so much.
So unfair.
Thank you, Devansh. Always a pleasure.
Hi, this is Katrina Kaif.
Hi guys, this is Ranbir Kapoor and you're watching Bollywood Times with Devansh Patel.